Pisces, welcome to your weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for October 17th to the 23rd of 2016. I'm Athen, and this channel is about using the actual constellations in the sky, known as Sidereal Astrology. If you are new to the channel, be sure to check out the link down below for more information. All right, so Pisces, this week we have a few things going on that are very significant, one of which is that Mars is conjoining up to Pluto. Very collectively significant here. So this is involving your 10th house, which is the house of career. It's the house of your productive life, anything on the public level, future things in that sense, and even community to a degree, like the society that you're a part of. But anyways, there's transformations occurring here, and in fact, it's nothing new. Because you've had Pluto here for many years, helping you transform this area, whether it's your career or whatnot. And maybe lately, these past few weeks, with Mars, who's recently entered your 10th house, maybe a bit more motivated, maybe a bit more driven. Maybe your energy levels are good at the top of the chart there with Mars. But whatever it is, it's still an excellent time for you to put that energy or put that focus on the career front and utilize that perhaps motivation you could have with Mars up there. But with Pluto in this conjunction, essentially what we've got here is we've got this now transformation that's occurring within you. That is needed here with this, for you to have good, healthy career and productive stuff. So it's an excellent week to dive deep. It's an excellent week to see if there's any fears, inhibitions, traumas, things that are holding you back from making perhaps the changes that you feel you need to make when it comes to this productive stuff. And again, it's not so much changes on the external as much as it's changes within self, because after we make changes within self, naturally the changes occur outside ourselves. So of course with action, but the most important thing is you transform within, and that's really what Pluto's about. Helps us see where there is these blockages, in other words, where these fears are, because where there's fear, we hold on to things very tightly. We're attached to things, and it creates a blockage, and then it doesn't flow, and then it can create a clunkiness or sometimes even an intensity when it's time to transform, and we're not willing to. So it's important for us to be willing to change. This is a neutral aspect, okay? So in and of itself, it's a neutral thing, but of course, it's not easy to dive deep, right? So the more willing we are to do that, though, the more willing we are to accept our fears, essentially be aware of them and accept them, and as a result, liberate ourselves from them, because once we shine that conscious light onto those fears, they no longer have the unconscious, subconscious effects on us, and they naturally want to transform and change, move into something else instead of be blocked and dense like that. So anyways, great for diving deep this week, seeing where there might be some inhibitions that are preventing you from making change here within self, so you can most importantly have freedom in your life, liberation. Right? You're not bound by these attachments no longer. And as a result, like I said, there can be this freedom to perhaps make some changes in this area. Now, Mars does also rule your second house of the financial material life. So maybe there's some changes occurring for some of you in that department. And it is, again, an excellent week to make change there within self. And then as a result, externally, Mars does also rule your ninth house. So maybe some changes with expanding your horizons, seeing possibilities in your life, opening your mind to those possibilities, although that's been perhaps a more serious thing because you've had Saturn in your ninth house, and this has been so you can really ground these possibilities, make them into something real and long-lasting and tangible, even though it does have oftentimes that limiting feeling. It's so that we can limit ourselves, in other words, have discipline and patience here to build it for the long term. But anyways, it's great to continue with that. In fact, we do have Venus going into this ninth house of yours, so you can be enjoying it. Maybe a bit of adventurousness, maybe light travel or going for walks, nature, anything that expands your horizons, philosophy, higher learning. I think you can be enjoying this stuff as well as taking it seriously with Saturn, which of course is very important. But there's changes happening, again, within you, within your belief systems, within what you think is possible. And I think it's just a great week to align with that consciously, or at least be aware that these changes are occurring. So that's the conjunction. That's Venus. We also do have Mercury opposing up to Uranus, which has been emphasizing your house of relationships. And now in this case, you. In fact, the last full moon, there was this awareness perhaps about the importance of having more liberation and freedom in your life. In other words, of being yourself and pursuing the things that are important to you and cultivating those personal needs and independence, and all that can be very freeing. But anyways, with all this energy in your seventh house, it's still a great time to be focused on relationships. You could be gaining energy through them, new ones, existing ones. There's opportunities coming through relationships at the moment, or to cultivate them, which is Jupiter in the 7th. And now with Mercury opposing up to Uranus, which again is nothing new because it was all part of that full moon. But after that conjunction with Mars, this opposition is again emphasizing the importance of both your personal needs and others' needs, right? Because this is what the emphasis is, right? Relationships, cooperation, harmony, working with others. With this Uranus in your first house, though, it's still about honoring who you truly are and not compromising that, of course. So it's about finding the middle path with that. Your personal needs, others' needs, how you can be your true self, how others can be themselves, and find that middle path there without going to extremes. Because sometimes with oppositions, depending on your personal chart, we can go to, in this case, an extreme of wanting to break free, break through. So it's important we stay balanced with that. In this case, maybe say some things or do some things in the relationships or something like that, which is the Mercury side to it. So listening to that freedom, yes, it's very important to be your true self, honor yourself, express yourself in that sense. At the same time as do the same for your relationships and see how you can cooperate, find some middle ground and harmony and that kind of thing as well. All right, so Pisces, that's the week. Those three things. The most important thing is this conjunction with Mars and Pluto in your 10th house, transformation with the career or the productive life. It's a good week for that. And again, perhaps financial, material, your sense of self-worth, your self-reliance is changing. It's a good week for that, as well as continuing to develop this more expansive view of life. All right, so Pisces, have a fantastic week. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week.